So hello friends, in today's video we'll discuss about the comparison of Ciena MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. So basically MLA, MLA2 and MLA3 is the mid-stage line amplifier. So you can see here in the picture, this is a physical representation of MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. So MLA, MLA2 and MLA3 card looks like the same way it looks in the picture. So you can see here there is a similarity between MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. So these MLA, MLA2, MLA3 has the same number of ports, same number of description, and you can see the same number of physical representation and the same physical dimensions also. The only difference between MLA, MLA2 and MLA3 is of some gain and some output parameters or some output power. So we will discuss all these things in the next some slides. So this is the comparative view of physical view of Ciena MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. So you can see here this is the MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. So you can see here this is the port 1, port 2, port 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8. Again, in a similar manner, there is the same 8 port in MLA2 and the same 8 port in MLA3. So the two combination of first two port is the monitoring port. So first and two port belongs to the monitoring. Second and third port belongs to the OSC. Fourth and fifth port belongs to the line B, and seventh and eighth port belongs to the line A. In the same way, you can see here the same two port belongs to this monitoring port. This port 3 and port 4 belongs to the OSC. 5th and 6th belongs to the line B, and port 7 and 8 belongs to the line A. In the same way, there is a MLA port also, MLA3 port also. The first two port belongs to monitoring port. 3, 4 port belongs to OSC. 5, 6 belongs to line B, and 7, 8 belongs to line A. You can see here this is the MLA, this is MLA2, and this is MLA3. So this is the interface name, this is the physical port number, this is the function, and this is the connector type. So you can see here there is a similarity between all the MLAs, MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. Port number 1, port number 2, this is for monitor port for line B out, and the port number 2 is for monitor port for line A out. OSC B in, you can see here this is the port number 3 is for OSC B in. This is optical service channel input, and port number 4 OSCA out, this is the optical service channel output. Port number 5 and port number 6 belong to line A, so the port number 5 is for line B output. So the output port of pass-through channel B, and port number 6 is for line B input port of pass-through channel B. So line A output, port number 7 belongs to the line A output port of pass-through channel A, and input port of pass-through channel A is the port number 8, which belongs to the line A. In the same way, there is a MLA and MLA2 and MLA3. You can see here this is a similarity between all these ports and all the interfaces, and there is a similarity between the physical view of MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. So this is the comparative view of logical diagram of Ciena MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. You can see here this is the port number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 and 7 belong to the line A. You can see here this is the line A input, and port number 7 is for line A output. In the same way, port number 6 is for line B in, and port number 5 is for line B out. You can see here this is port for OSCA out, and this port is for OSCB in. You can see here this is the output, this is the input port for line B, and this is the output port for line A. You can see here this is the monitoring port, which belongs to port 2. This is the monitoring for A out, and this is the monitoring for B out. You can see here this is port 1. So when we check in the port 1, we can get the B out parameters, and if we check in port 2, we can get the parameters of the line A out. This is the MLA. In the same way, you can see here this again, this line A, this line B, this OSC ports, and this monitoring ports. This is the MLA3. can see here this is the MLA2. So you can see here there is similarity between MLA2 and MLA3. So there is no difference between logical diagram or the physical diagram. The only difference between these three parameters, these three MLA, MLA2 and MLA3 is because of some parameters, and which we will discuss in next few slides. So this is the second variant. There are two variants of MLA2. First is similar to the MLA and MLA3, and the only difference between this MLA2 second variant is about this VOA. There is a variable optical attenuator. So MLA2 with variable optical attenuator. So there is a two variant of MLA, MLA2 and MLA2 with variable optical attenuator. You can see here clearly. This is MLA, MLA3, MLA2 and MLA2 with variable optical attenuator. So comparison of Ciena MLA, MLA2 and MLA3 on basis of different parameters. You can see here this will be the serial number, this parameter, this is the MLA, this is for MLA, this is for MLA2 and this is for MLA3. So the first one is the slot occupancy. So MLA, MLA2 and MLA3 both occupies 8 single slot, and both are, if we can see, MLA, MLA2 and MLA3 is having 8 port, and all these 3 MLA occupies the single slot. The second one is the variance. So there are two types of MLA. There is not the type, but there is C band and L band. So MLA C band and MLA L band. So MLA C band can support the C band channels, and MLA L band can support the L band channels. So MLA C band is a gain controlled amplifier used in dog control system. MLA L band is fixed gain amplifier used in passive photonic system that are mutually equalized using pads. MLA2 mid-stage line amplifier 2 circuit pack, mid-stage line amplifier 2 with variable optical attenuator circuit pack. And there is only one variant of MLA3, that is MLA3 sideband. So this is a construction. MLA is used for both edge and core application. You can see here this MLA2 is also used for both edge and core application. MLA3 is also used for both edge and core application. So this is, although the construction of these MLA, MLA2, MLA3 is also very similar. So you just need to read one. The MLA is used for both edge and core application and contains two erbium doped fiber amplifier. You can see here this is 2 alpha. There is the 2 alpha is used in the construction of MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. One in pre-amplified configuration, amplifying the signal as it is entering the site from the line. So you are seeing this is the line which is entering from the other side. So this is the pre-amplifier configuration. There is alpha in pre-amplifier configuration. The second alpha is post-amplifying configuration. Amplify the signal as it leaves the site onto the line. And a single OSC channel 1511 nanometer, that is splitter or coupler. You can see this OSC. So MLA2, the same construction for MLA2 and the same construction is for MLA3. So moving on some different parameters. Gain. So what is the gain for the MLA? So this is you can see here there will be a difference. There will be a difference for gain for MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. You can see here because there is a two type of MLA, MLA C band and MLA L band. So there is a so we can differentiate here. So for MLA C band, and for line A, design flat gain is 20 dB. So this gain is in dB. Typical gain is 12 to 20 and extended range is 7 to 25. You can see here for MLA2 for line A, design flat gain is 23.5, typical is 15 to 23.5 and extended range for 11 to 28. So you can see here there is a difference in gain. So that's what there is some difference in some parameters only. So the construction is very similar, but there is some difference in some parameters. So you will check there is more difference in some more parameters in next slides. So you can see here for line B there is a design flat gain is 17, typically is 0.9 to 17 and extended range is 6 to 22 dB. And for MLA2 design flat gain is 23.5, typically is 15 to 23.5 and extended range is 11 to 28. In the same way, you can see for MLA3 for line A, design flat gain is 23.5, typical gain is 15 to 23.5 gain, extended range is 11 to 28 gain. And for line B, design flat gain is 23.5, 15 to 23.5 is a typical, and extended range is 11 to 28. So you can see here this is for line B and for line B of MLA2 and for line B for MLA3. This is very similar. Or you can see here this is also very similar. So the gain for the line A and line B is very similar for MLA2 and MLA3, but it is different from MLA3. For MLA L band, for line A fixed nominal 23, for line B fixed nominal 23. The primary difference comparing to the MLA circuit pack is that MLA2 or MLA2 with variable optical attenuator circuit pack has a higher gain in both the pre and post amplifier than the MLA, gaining more flexibility in link budget. Therefore, MLA2 or MLA2 with variable optical attenuator circuit pack is chosen over MLA circuit pack where the spans have more losses. In the same way, the primary difference between MLA circuit pack is that similar to MLA, that MLA3 has a higher gain in both the pre and post amplifiers than the MLA. You can see here the gain for line A and line B both is higher for this MLA. So the MLA3 is also chosen over the MLA circuit pack when the span have more losses. So again, moving to some next parameters. Wavelength range. For MLA C band, the wavelength range is 1530.33 nanometer to 1516.5.09 nanometer. For MLA2, the range is same. For MLA3, for the C band channels, 1528.77 nanometer to 1566.72 nanometer. So you can see here there is a small deviation in wavelength range for MLA3 over MLA2 and MLA when used in fixed grid system. So this is the range for when C band is used in the fixed grid system, and when there is a flexible grid system, its band is 196.125 terahertz to 191.325 terahertz. And for MLA L band, this frequency range is 1570.22 and 1605.94 nanometer for MLA. So moving to some other parameters. So this parameter is the total output power. So you can see here for line A, maximum output power for MLA C band for MLA is 17. So what is the maximum output power for line A? So what is the output port for line A? You can see here the output port for line A is port number 7 and the output port for line B is port number 5. So for MLA C band for line A, maximum output power is 17, and for line B, you can see here for line B the maximum output power from this port is 19. For MLA L band, suppose this is the MLA L band, so for line A the maximum output power from this port is 16 dBm, and the maximum output power from line B output, that is the port number 5, that is the 16 dBm. So for in the same case for MLA2 for line A, the maximum output power before the VOA, in case of VOA, in the case of MLA2 with VOA, you can see here this is the MLA2 with VOA. So before VOA, maximum output power for line A is before VOA. So at this point the output power, maximum output power is 19.5, and the maximum output power after the VOA is 18.25. so on this port 18.25. So this variable optical attenuator can attenuate the power from 19.5 to 18.25. In the same case for line B, the maximum output power before the VOA is 19 and after the VOA is 17.75. And in the case of MLA2 without VOA for line A, the maximum output power is 19.5 dBm, and for line B means from port 5 the maximum output power is 19 dBm. In the case of MLA3, the MLA3 has a higher maximum total output power than MLA. So MLA3 for line A, the output power is 23.5 dBm, and you can see here in case of MLA2 with VOA or without OA, the maximum output power for line A from MLA2 is 19.5 dBm. So this is the difference. You can see here again there is a difference between MLA2 and MLA3 in case of total output power. because you can see here everything is almost similar for MLA, MLA2 and MLA3, but there is some difference in some parameters. So here you got the difference for the total output power in the MLA2 and MLA3, and that is for line A the total output power is 23.5 dBm, and for line B the total output power is 19.5 dBm, and for line B for MLA3 the total output power is 23 dBm. So MLA3 can be used in application where reach and capacity are limited by output power. So we can use the MLA3 because of this feature. The MLA3 can be used in the application where reach and capacity are limited by output power. Okay, so moving to the next parameters. So what is that parameter? This is the noise figure. Okay, you can see here for MLA-C band different at various gains. It means for different gain the noise figure is actually depends upon the gain. So this noise figure is different for different gain. So for line A for gain range 14 to 20 the noise figure is less than 7 max, and for gain 12 to 14 noise figure is less than 7.2 max. In the same case for line B for gain 12 to 17 noise figure is less than 7.2, and for gain 9 to 12 noise figure is less than 9.7. For MLA L band different at various gain. For line A it is fixed 6, and for line B it is fixed 6. Because for MLA L band the gain is fixed, so the noise figure is also fixed. For line A it is fixed for 6, and for line B it is fixed for 6, and this noise figure is in the unit of this is dB. So in case of MLA2 again different noise figure at various gain. You can see here for line A for gain 17.5 to 23.5 noise figure is less than 5.9, and for gain 15 to 17.5 the noise figure is less than 7. And in case of for line B, if you are talking about this span or this direction, for gain 17.5 to 23.5 noise figure is less than 5.7, and for gain 15 to 17.5 noise figure is less than 6.8. So in the same case for MLA3 the different noise figure at various gains. For line A you can see here the gain range is same, but there is again the difference in noise figure. You can see here for the same gain range 17.5 to 23.5 line for line A in MLA3 noise figure is less than 6.6. So this is the max, 6.6 is the max, and in this case for MLA2 5.9 is the max. For gain 15 to 17.5 noise figure is less than 8.2, and it is the max. For line B for gains again you can see for the same gain range there is a difference in noise figure. So again you got the difference in noise difference in MLA2 and MLA3 in this parameter noise figure. So moving to the next parameters, channel spacing for MLA-C band and for MLA-L band. So for MLA-C band for MLA 50 GHz and 100 GHz is compliant, and for MLA-L band 2 GHz is compliant. For MLA2 and MLA3 you can see here there is a similarity between MLA2 and MLA3 in the channel spacing. You can use either 50 GHz channel spacing or 100 GHz channel spacing in both the MLA2 or MLA3. So the next parameter is output loss threshold. So you can see here the for MLA-C band in MLA for line A, for this line A minimum power range is -15 and maximum power range is 15. So this is the output loss threshold. For line B -11 to 24, and for MLA-L band for MLA-L band for line A -15 to 15 and -11 to 24. So the output loss threshold is, you can see, the same for MLA-C band and for MLA-L band. For line A for MLA2 it is from -15 to 24, and for line B -15 to 15. For line A it is for MLA3 -15 to 15, and for line B -15 to 15. You can see here there is a difference between output loss threshold between MLA and MLA2 and MLA3 for line A. The minimum is -15, which is same, but maximum is 24 in MLA2 and maximum is 15 in MLA and MLA3. For line B it is same. Input loss threshold you can see here for MLA-C band for line A minimum is -40 and maximum is 10. For line B minimum is -30 and maximum is 13. For MLA-L band minimum is -40 and maximum is 10, and minimum is minus 30, and max is 13. So what is this meaning of this minimum and maximum? So input loss threshold, it means the input power for line A, means on the 8 port number 8, if you are talking about the line A, so on port number 8 the minimum power which it can accept is minus 40, means minus 40, below that power or at minus 40 or below that power it will declare the loss, and maximum is 10. So the range for this port, the input power is minus 40 to 10, and it's the same case for line B, the range is minus 30 to 13. So this is all about the minimum range and maximum range for input loss threshold, and in the same case for the output loss threshold. So in case of MLA2 for line A, the minimum is minus 40 and maximum is 10. So the range for line A in case of MLA2 is minus 40 to 10, and for line B the same range. For MLA3 for line A, minimum is minus 40, maximum is 10, and for line B minus 40 to maximum is 10. So the input loss threshold is same for line A and line B for both MLA2 and MLA3. So there is a similarity. So again, moving on some other parameters. So there are some features also, means automatic laser shutdown functionality. So this functionality is available in all the three amplifiers, MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. The APR automatic power reduction functionality, and this functionality is also available in both in all the three MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. And there is a variable optical attenuator. So variable optical attenuator is not present in MLA and MLA3. So this functionality is only available in MLA2. So power for MLA C-band, typical power. This is the power, means watt uses, that is 34 watt. This power wedge is 34 watt. Typical power 30 for MLA2 and 33 for MLA2 with variable optical attenuator. And for MLA3, this typical power is 36 and power budget is 40. And the power budget for MLA2 is 36 for MLA2 and 37 for MLA2 with VOA. In case of MLA L-band, for MLA typical is 21 and power budget is 24. Cross connection rate. So MLA circuit pack only support the OCH optical channel photonic cross connection rate. So this is again the similarity between MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. So all these three amplifiers, mid-stage line amplifiers, support the OCH optical channel photonic cross connect rate. And there is one special functionality in MLA3. It supports the network media channel photonic cross connection rate, NMC. So there are some other parameters. Integrated OSC ports. So integrated OSC add-through filter, OSC add-through ports is available in MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. Cross connection type. So there is again the similarity, one way unidirectional, two-way bidirectional. So this functionality is available in all MLA, MLA2 and MLA3. Weight, there is a difference in weight. You can see for MLA C band, in case of MLA 1.8 kg, for MLA L band its weight is 1.2 kg. In case of MLA2 the weight is 1.2 kg. In case of MLA3 1.4 kg. So MLA3 is little bit higher, you can see, than the MLA2, and MLA C band is heaviest in all the types of MLA. External monitor port at output for each amplifier line. This is again the similarity in this functionality is available in all the three MLAs. So this is all about the MLA, MLA2 and MLA3 comparison. So hope it helps you. Thank you.